As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. As always, we want to make sure that we are starting our day off by taking massive action, and that action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trusting your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So let's get down to it. I apologize for yesterday. Uh, got back late from our weekend trip. So it was a rough morning, but uh, we will be back at it next week for Mindset Monday. Um, so if everybody can hear me okay, drop me one in the chat and we will get rocking. Appreciate it. All right. So let's take a look at the fundamentals, and then I want to go through some of the setups from the weekend, um, and some of the activity that was posted in the community. There were some great setups, some great conversation back and forth. Um, so I want to go through some of those as well, and then we'll take a look at some new stuff if we have time toward the end. All right, so trading economics we go. And U.S. small business optimism at a 3-year high. The NFIB small business optimism index in the U.S. jumped to 101.7 in November, the highest reading since June 2021, compared to a 93.7 in October, and beating the forecast of 94.2. It is also the first time in 34 months that the reading is above a 50-year average of 98 in response to the presidential election, right? So with the monetary or the fiscal policy that is potentially in store from Donald Trump, is considered inflationary, but that does not mean that it's not good for business because there's the potential of cheaper money, right? Cheaper money means that businesses can borrow at lower interest rates to then invest, is what some say. Um, Hiring also, um, more bonuses and things like that for executives. Um, so business optimism at a 3-year high. Then we had last night, Australia. Reserve Bank of Australia retained its cash rate at 4.35 during its final meeting of 2024, keeping borrowing costs unchanged for the ninth straight gathering. In line with the market forecast, the central bank stated that while headline inflation has eased substantially and will remain lower for some time, underlying inflation stays too high before reaching the midpoint of 2 to 3% in 2026. Right. The board said it gained some confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward the target. Meanwhile, other recent data on activity has been mixed, but remained consistent with the forecast. On household consumption, any pickup may be slower than expected, resulting in continued subdued output growth, and a sharper deterioration in the labor market. Right. So, so they're still looking for more deterioration in the labor market and things to continue to slow down before they be open to making adjustments. Uh, they added they will continue to rely on data and the evolving assessment of risk, including geopolitical uncertainties, to guide its decisions. Okay, so inflation is still a concern, um, and they still want to see uh, continued slower pickup in consumption, which will then lead to that slower growth. Okay, so that's where they are. And they'll continue to watch things there. So we'll take a look at the Aussie and see where the market moved. For China, exports from China grew by 6.7% year on year in November, missing the market forecast of 8.5, right? So that was a pretty sizable miss, and sharply deteriorating from a more than 2 year high of 12.7 in the previous month, reflecting ongoing trade tension with the West, right? And that's ahead of increased tariffs. Still, it marked the eighth consecutive month of expansion in outbound shipments, with the value reaching its highest amount in 26 months of USD 312 billion. As some manufacturers front-loaded orders in anticipation for further tariffs, right? So that increase was they're front-loading those, getting those out sooner, so it won't cost them as much on the back end. Notably for the U.S. Under the second administration, Donald Trump, exports rose to the U.S. by 8%, Japan 6.4%, EU 7.2%, Asian countries 20.1. So that's where that's where that is. Saw a bump. We'll see how this portion is impacted as we move through the beginning of the year, and how soon, depending on how soon Donald Trump implements those increased tariffs. And we'll see if this number decreases more before it increases. So we'll see how things move from that perspective there. All right. Yeah, and that's where we are from trading economics. There's that data from last night for the Aussie. Preliminary machine tool orders for the yen, 3%. We didn't have a forecast there. Germany's CPI month over month came in as expected. Today we got OPEC meetings. Ooh. Revised non-farm productivity quarter over quarter. That'll be interesting to see what that revision looks like. Then tonight we have manufacturing index for Japan and producer price index for Japan, 6:50 this evening. Tomorrow is where all eyes are pointed, looking at the CPI data. I've been talking about it quite a bit over the weekend. And then we have the Canadian rate statement tomorrow morning as well, and then the press conference. Crude oil inventories, and then employment change and unemployment rate for the Aussie tomorrow night. Okay. And then on Thursday, Swiss National Bank policy statement and press conference. Then you have the ECB rate statement and press conference, right? So second half of the week, super busy with the rate statements and inflation data, because then we come back with PPI data for the United States at 8:30. And then on Friday, things are a bit slower with just GDP month over month for the pound as a red folder. All right, so that's where we are. So we'll definitely look forward to the Wednesday, Thursday to see where things are, right? And what's needed from that perspective. Okay, any questions from a fundamental perspective or anything that you guys have come across? I know there's quite a bit posted in the community yesterday. Anything you guys come across you want to bring put on the table?
Yep, I do. For some of the
What's
stuff,
happening, Joe?
I posted, I didn't forgot what the name is because I'm not at the computer yet. But a lot of the changes that they're doing with this new wallet that they building. Um, Basically, I took the understanding that they're trying to take something that's not tangible and make it tangible. What is called real world assets, I want to say RWAs, I think it was called.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was just trying to get a more understanding of that terminology.
Okay. I definitely have to go back and read the article. I didn't get a chance to read the article. I saw the one fuel piece.
Yeah, that's what the
Um,
one fuel supposed to, the wallet supposed to be. But you got the ledger for cold storage. I know that, but then it's like I didn't dig down to see like what type of wallet this is.
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, definitely have to dig more into that and figure out some details there, and then really as digging, see what that full impact on the crypto side will be. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm saving that article now so that I can check it out. I appreciate you posting that though.
Yep, because I was like, oh, this is for everything. Because when I was looking at it, I was going over XRP. I was looking, if you go to like the Coin Gecko and click on the ticker, it's a news segment that you could go in for the individual cryptos and stuff. And then when I seen that article, I noticed it was tagged to Chainlink. And then when I went inside just to see what the platform was about, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a whole different exchange, like how Kraken and Uphold is. But I think that's as far as my comprehension went.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that. Some things for us to research and figure out. Got you. Appreciate that, Joy. We'll definitely dig into those details. All right. Cool deal. Benny, good morning, bro.
Ryan, good morning. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Good morning, everybody.
What's top of mind for you, bro? From a fundamental perspective.
Oh man, I was reading an article this morning. Mortgage rates keep marching lower, sinking to its lowest level since October. Right?
Mm.
So rates are coming down, right? Cycle continues. I see this morning too that Biden stays on track for presidential job creation record.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when he's on his way out. So we'll see how that goes. Uh,
See who gets the credit for it.
yeah. So we're gonna see what happens there. But that those are the two articles that I read this morning. So I got to get kind of late this morning, so not my usual, you know.
They,
Yeah, a little bit behind. So and then I posted that yesterday with the whole NVIDIA situation with that China
yes,
probe. So I don't know if you spoke about that yet or not. I'm getting
I
on late,
haven't.
so.
I haven't. Go ahead and talk to us about it, man.
No, just you know, just that it's caused the shares to drop. In regards to they're being attacked, right? For you start to hear that monopoly, you know, word start to creep in, and so they're under investigation now by China. We'll see how that comes out. I think they're a giant. They had so they they like we were talking about it yesterday. China had approved what was it, a $7 billion acquisition of a
Yep.
company. What was it? Is it Mellanox or something like that
Mellanox.
in
Yeah.
2020?
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's what is that? That's an Israeli uh
It is.
yeah, computer networking,
Yeah.
something like
So
that.
I believe that's what it is. Yeah, a
Yeah,
computer
it's a
networking,
computer.
but
It's
it
an
is really
equipment.
yeah.
It's an equipment maker. So it seems like they're trying to trying to U-turn on that. So we'll see how that. But I know it kind of people were kind of trading the video because the shares dropped. After the announcement, that China's probing. So it's really just a global tech war in the sense that's going on. So for anybody that's wondering why they may have seen the correction, in Nvidia shares, that's why that's what's going on. So just keeping everybody abreast to that, man. Other than that, that's all I've got really. I may have something here in a few minutes, but I did see what was that? What was that? Looking at that MCHI, that gapped.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I don't know why yet though, but I'll
So
take it.
I think that's on so the meetings that came out of China
Okay.
and that occurred over the weekend,
Oh, for
Friday, Saturday.
the future. I did post that. I saw that. I didn't put the two
I'm
and two
talking about
together.
2025 plans,
Yeah, more stimulus, right?
more
More
stimulus
stimulus.
coming.
I don't know
Yeah,
why I didn't put the two and two together. It is a China ETF, so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that caught my eye this morning too. Quickly glancing at the charts, like man, that gapped up. So yeah, so it's always a question of when are they going to start pricing that stuff in. And I guess that's our answer, right?
That's our
That
answer.
they're doing it now because that's a huge move
Hmm.
that it made. So yeah,
Yeah. And that's supposed to be a pretty
it's gonna be
sizable
a good one.
stimulus as well.
I know, and that's the key. So here's the thing, everybody. So I know I did. Me and Ryan were discussing it. We missed that last run, right? Because you just didn't put the two and two together. Like, oh, China's, you know, had put forth a stimulus package, right? That was a little bit further back in the year, and all of a sudden you see, you know, Chinese company stocks, ETFs, kind of get a huge boost, and it's like, man, I missed that. I didn't put it all together. But now, right, you've got another opportunity because China's talking about, further stimulus in 2025, like Ryan just spoke about. And so you have to think your mind has to shift, right? Because we're global, we're all connected. How, okay, what can I take advantage of, right? In regards to China, what companies, stocks, ETFs, and things like that. And so that MCHI is one of them. So because that's been kind of bouncing around the sweet spot on a daily for a while,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. And so that may be a go going into 2025, but it definitely gapped up. It's correcting a bit. It corrected a bit, but I think that might continue its run. We'll see what happens. That's it,
Yeah,
man.
it was sitting around just below the 127 zone on the 80/20.
Okay.
And that gap up pushed us just above the B boundary. So we definitely could see us looking out on the daily time frame here. Originally, we're looking for another potential push down to this 43 area. So guys are good still in the sell zone. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. But we could just see more of a potential head and shoulder type pattern here as this develops and that stochastic gets back into the buy zone. And we'll see if we get a shift today, right, with that gap up yesterday, if that stochastic makes a move back down to the downside. Um, but
There's a fib off the low, right? Am I wrong
on
on
the
that? Maybe I was looking at another.
daily,
Yeah, like
mhm,
off the low. Go back off that.
let's see.
Maybe I'm
Oh, no, you're
yeah,
correct. Yep.
yeah,
You're right. 618 retracement. Okay.
yeah.
Mm,
So
okay.
yeah, maybe it's time. That it's been fits and starts for China, right? So the last stimulus it got a boost, but it didn't continue. But maybe this is it because they're projecting it to be pretty sizable, right? Like you said. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got some confluence here, that 618 retracement area and that 80/20 for this reversal here. And so it ultimately potentially looking at right pull back, retest that previous resistance. It will support here at $48 range. Um 48.73, and then see if we get continuation to the upside like so. Right. So as we come down to the four on this one, all right, that's what it looks like on the four. Very similar to that daily 618 retracement, just inside the D extension on that sub fib to the downside, 80/20 reversal. Right. So see if we get a pullback to close this gap a bit and then look for that continuation to the upside. Right. If we get a pullback on that, that's the other thing. We may see this also continue to run. That as a possibility there. So we'll keep that in the back of our mind. So then coming down to the one, right, you just see more of that gap there. Okay. So not much you can see from a fib perspective to the upside. So we'll continue to monitor this off the higher time frames. And ultimately looking for a continuation to the upside as we see more of that stimulus getting priced in. Okay. So that's definitely one to continue to monitor as we get these ABCD waves to fill out to the upside. Okay. But yeah, like Benny said, the last wave we missed, and we're trying to make sure that we position ourselves to be able to take advantage of what we foresee coming um, with some of the opportunities that are in sweet spots to move to the upside over the long term, and then some of the retracements that then move down into the sweet spot for us to take advantage of on new buys. So we will continue to monitor this one in that stack as we build out these portfolios. Because over the long term, this definitely could be a key piece to the portfolio development over the long term, right? Looking at it from a monthly time frame perspective, we just wicked at 382 there, and we had this pullback. So we could see this continue to rise and get into this $76-$80 range, potentially even higher than that, depending on how things go over the next year to 2 years, right? But being in position to take advantage of this wave to the upside is going to be key. All right. Questions on MCHI? Um, so Joy on that. So on one of my accounts, I did the same thing, and I didn't realize I put a take profit level in, but I did. And as price accelerated to the upside and got to this 382 on this wick, it closed me out, which is cool, where I was able to take the profit and wait for this pullback. But um I was looking because I had an entry somewhere in this range here. And so I was looking to really be able to continue to hold that over the long term. Um, but yeah, mine got closed out as well. And so looking for some good buying opportunities, which this gave us. So we'll be set up for success over the long term. So if we get this pullback here, that might give you a good opportunity to re-enter that on that move to the upside. And I made sure this time that I let that take profit open, right? Just to allow this to continue to run and do its thing over the long term. So that is 48.80. Okay. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, let's continue to monitor that. All right. I'll go back to NVIDIA real quick. As Benny was talking about the probe and kind of what that is doing to the stock price. So we see here, right? I think I mentioned this last week before I was out, but got an 80-20 here on the daily time frame. And we zoom in on this, right? Potential head and shoulders pattern here. Okay. If I can grab it. I'll grab it on the board. But head and shoulders pattern here, right? Turning over, closed bearish here today. We got that right shoulder to form. Then we'll look to see if we're able to break this 132.12 level. If we do, then we'll look for this sub fib D extension off the top, right? Off of the head here, 618 retracement. Look for that matching extension at 118.77. And then potentially even getting down as low as 114.89, putting price right into our sweet spot, right? We got stochastic pushing back into that sell zone. So we got some things lining up for us to potentially give us that short opportunity if you want to short it. But then looking at long term, looking at this lower price here, right? For some really nice buying opportunities to throw this back to the upside. Okay. And just looking at the fib sequence going backwards, you see we've gotten really nice retracements, right, that have put price into the buy zone for these accelerations. Okay. So looking for that potential here, and that probe kind of puts things right into the cycle that we're looking for and that move to the downside. So we'll continue to watch this to see if we do break this neckline level at 132.12. Like I said, if we do, we'll look for a retest and continuation to the downside, completing that 80-20, and then putting us into a sweet spot for a long-term buy there. All right. So coming down to the 4, you see that a little bit more clearly there. And there's that adjustment. Boom. All right. Looking for that move back down to the downside. Okay. Like I said, my eyes are going to be in this zone here. This zone here, potentially dollar cost averaging in. If we break this level around this 120, 27 level as price moves down, and then looking for those reversals as price continues to move back to the upside. Right. So there's your 80-20 on the 4 as well, making that move back down to the downside. Stochastic pushing out of that sell zone. Okay. Coming down to the 1, you just see that a little more clearly here. Okay. Also 80-20 scenario. There you see that move back down to the downside. There's your sub fib coming off the high. 8-6 retracement, matching extension is here at 128, right? But again, looking for that to continue to move to the downside and getting us there for some good buys. All good. So that's NVIDIA. That's what my eyes are seeing right now. And we'll see how the developments of that probe, right? If that falls in alignment from a fundamental perspective to give us that push back down to that low price. All right. So keep your eyes peeled there, and we'll stay up to date on that news to see how things continue to play out in this new tech war. All right. Questions on NVIDIA? No?
Nope.
All right. Cool deal. Uh, cool beans. So let's skip the DXY. Let's take a look at the DXY, see what things are there. And then like I said, I want to go over some of the action from the community as well. Because there's some great setups that the team posted. I want to get updates on those. So DXY, that didn't play out, pushed down, took out the A there. So that fib flips, boom. That's on the 4-hour. Okay. One Dolson, good morning, my man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Price moving back to the upside. Okay. Stochastic still overbought there on the 4. Let's go back to the data real quick. Trying to push back to the upside coming out of that buy zone. So we probably could see some back and forth here with the inflation data coming out. Let's take that out. Boom. Let's see how things move. So Castle trying to get out of that buy zone. We got that swing low to form there, confirming that 105.411. And see if we get continued rise to the upside here. We'll watch that inflation data to see where things go. Okay. But moving to the upside right now, nonetheless. Okay. Back to the 4. And there's that move there. We'll see what happens at 106.696. If we stall there and push back down to the downside to stay within this range, or we break out to the upside and continue moving long on the dollar. Okay, so we'll watch that and see how things develop over time there, but pushing to the upside right now, nonetheless. Okay, so that's the DXY. Aussie Swiss. This was a setup out of the weekend. Um, we had that data yesterday for the or the rate statement yesterday for the Aussie, right? And gave us a push down, but then right price got to the support level 56,002, right? And we've stalled. So if we close here today above the low, that could give us a swing low, and we'll watch to see if we get price to rise here. Okay. Sitting at that 382, this could be a couple different scenarios here, right? Either we run to the upside and stall at this resistance level here at 58,668, and then we stay range bound. One option. Second option, right? Head and shoulders pattern. Okay, and we get a deeper retracement here. We got stochastic in the buy zone, right? So that's giving us this buying opportunity. Then we'll assess as price moves to the upside. But long-term, couple different scenarios there. And then third scenario is price just continues to run to the upside, right? So, but swing low forming here. Like I said, if we get this close here, stochastic is in the buy zone, so that gives us an indication if we're able to close above, swing low, we could be looking for price to move to the upside. And then as it moves, we can then monitor price from there, right? So as we come down to the 4, we got price sitting in the sweet spot, 618 level, double bottom action here. Stochastic still a bit high, but coming down, right? So we'll watch to see, like I said, if we're able to confirm this low and start that move back to the upside. So we could be in a very nice buying position for price to move back long for a period of time, right? And then we'll monitor as price gets higher in the zone. Okay, so that's there on the 4. Then coming down to the 1 is where you got your 80-20. Right? So again, it's double bottom to form here, just below that 127 level. Price starting to push back to the upside. You got your cloud moving sideways, giving us that consolidation idea. But are we able to get that nice push to the upside, break the cloud, break out of the consolidation, and start making this track to the upside? Right? So there's your 80-20 prices right in that 118 to 127 zone now. Nice opportunity for a move long on the Aussie Swiss. All right. Questions here on the Aussie Swiss? No? Uh, the extension 55903. You're welcome. All right, cool beans. So we'll watch the development there, right? Some opportunities there though. Cool. Then Aussie yen. Similar story, right? Press to the downside. Then you got strong bullish action, pull back and retest. Stochastic starting to push out of that buy zone. We already got just shy of a 618 retracement here, right? And you know we're overall bearish on the yens. This is the larger fib here. So that was a sub fib off the C. Larger fib, we got a 786 retracement there. But overall bearish on the yens. So looking for this to continue moving to the upside. Matching extension is here. What is that level? 109, 819. That'll give us a double top look there, potentially in preparation for yen strength at some point. But looking for a move long. Stochastic coming out of that buy zone. Okay. Come down to the 4. Here's some additional confirmation of that. Beautiful 80-20 to the downside, 618 retracement. Nice bullish action here, giving you a trend line break. Boom. All right. Beautiful trend line break. Pullback. Could see another push down, giving us a potential double bottom look here at that 618 level. Retesting that trend line and then move long. All right. So matching extension off the 4, 105, 111. Okay. So looking for that longer term move to the upside there. From a daily time frame perspective, yeah, way more opportunity, excuse me, more opportunity to the upside than this. But from a 4-hour perspective, right, that's what we could be looking at in the shorter term. Okay. Then coming down to the 1, just looking at what this could look like as we get moving. One more push to the downside, potentially. Right. We already got a nice cloud break here. Boom. Pull back. Retesting. Got a bullish cloud ahead. I would like to see one more pull down, but uh potential for that also not to happen, right? Just to get deeper in the zone here, setting us up for that move to the upside. Okay. But price is moving nicely to the upside already. So we'll watch that and see as price develops there. Okay. But long nonetheless on this Aussie yen, looking for pullbacks and continuations to the upside. Questions? Nope. Nope. All right. Cool deal. Um, Aussie dollar. Reese was on point on this one on a 30-minute time frame. Which we'll get down there. Daily time frame, D extension achieved. Do we stay above and create a swing low here? Right, that level was broken. Does this form a swing low? Stochastic trying to stay down in this buy zone here. Right? Do we get that to form? Potential some more consolidation, and then we'll see what happens with the dollar. Right? Do we get inflation to be uh higher than expected? Do we get inflation to be higher than expected, or does inflation continue to trickle down, leading to more of a dovish Fed narrative, more rate cuts, right? And do we see this then rise, right? So looking to see where that data comes out from a monetary perspective there, okay? But that's on the daily time frame. Coming down to the 4, we see we're headed to the downside here, right? So what happens in this area? Do we get another push down with dollar strength, get to the D extension on the 4, or do we stall here in reverse? Okay, so that's what I'm watching to see how this portion of the move evolves, right? I think it's all going to come from the data. Okay, coming down to the 1, not a ton doing here, right? Tons of back and forth happening. Okay, so not a ton here, right? You got that move there, matching the extension there in line with this 60, 63, 40 level. So that could be pointing to more downward pressure before we get a move to the upside, but we'll see. Okay, we'll see there. But Reese had this 80-20 on the 30-minute time frame, shallow retracement, 118 to 127 zone, started making the move. Data came, boom, took out the A. right? So that was a beautiful setup to the downside out of the zone on the 30-minute, 87 pips. Now looking to see what happens as price evolves here, right? So great work on this one on that setup to the downside. Okay. So that's the Aussie dollar. Great move. Now we're looking for the reset. Questions here?
No, sir.
Oh, well, cool beans. Great work on this one. And we had another one out of the weekend, the CAD yen. See where this one is sitting. Trying to make that move to the upside, right? 50% retracement. Daily support that we broke back above. And you see we're trying to get long stochastic coming out of that buy zone. Okay. Um, so looking long. Matching extension on this sub fib 114, 127. We zoom out. Is there a larger fib on this one? Maybe not. No. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, no, that got taken out. Okay. Yep. So that's where we are here. Okay. That's where we are there. Trying to get that push to the upside. Okay. Come down to the 4. There's our 80-20 on the 4. Trying to get that push. Excuse me. Um, Trying to get that push long. All right. Out of that 118 127 zone. We got previous support coming in here at 107, 655. But ultimately look for price to continue moving to the upside here against the yen. Okay. Already in motion, making those ABCD waves to the upside. We come down to the 1, we stay 80-20 more clearly here. Okay. Nice push out. You see the consolidation there. Cloud break, pull back, retest. Looking for that continuation to the upside. Bullish cloud ahead. All right. So beautiful scenario there. Hopefully folks are able to take advantage of that move as it continues. That's another one that I'm looking at letting ride at least for a little while as price gets higher in the zone here. Right, with yen weakness, no changes coming from a monetary perspective. We don't anticipate. We'll see what happens on, I believe it's the 19th. But looking for that yen to remain weak through the end of the year and beginning of next. Okay, so CAD yen long. Questions on this one?
Nope.
No. All right. Cool beans. Swiss yen. Same story, a little bit different. But overall, long. Um, Let me see if I got a larger fib on this one also. Don't think so. Oh, there we go. Boom. Right. 786 retracement, pushing to the upside. Got a little bit of a crown pattern happening here. Right. Stochastic is already pushed out of that buy zone, right? So we'll look for pullbacks and continuations to the upside here. We do have rate statement for the Swissy that Wednesday, Thursday, da, 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 da. Thursday morning, right? So we'll see what that data looks like, but looking for this to continue moving to the upside. Okay, we'll see what happens as we get to 170, 176. But Looking for price to continue to ride, matching extension here at 183,608, which would be another all-time high for this pair. Um, which that's just what it's done all year is create new all-time highs. So we'll continue to monitor that part as price continues to chug along, but looking for price to continue to rise there. Okay. Coming down to the 4, took out the A. We'll flip that fib. Boom. There's your 80-20. Move back to the upside. Beautiful action there from last Tuesday, running long. So look for pullbacks and continuations to the upside here on this Swiss yen. Okay. Then down on your 1, beautiful cloud break, pullback, and you see the stair steps, right? Now we're headed to the upside. And there we are. ABCD wave, 618 retracement there on the 1. Happened yesterday. It's midnight. All right. And then boom, take off. So look forward to continue. Questions on the Swiss yen. Long, right? Long against the yen. Long against the yen. Oh, all right. Cool beans. Euro, Aussie. So it's been bouncing back and forth. What was the deal with this one? This was also a retracement on the lower time frame, if I'm not mistaken. Been bouncing back and forth here, 618, 786, 86 zone. We got third touchdown here on the low, price pushing back to the upside, right? Stochastic in the sell zone here. So do we get another move back down into the zone? Okay, do we get another move back down into the zone? We'll watch and see how this continues to evolve. Excuse me. If at some point we see either Aussie weakness or this ECB rate statement, they're trying to figure out what the rate cut should look like and how deep those cuts should be. So with that rate statement coming up as well, we'll see how the market responds, right? Does that give us a catalyst to push back down to the downside to retest this previous support level and then move back long? Okay, so we'll watch that from a data perspective. Coming down to the 4, right? We had a nice deep retracement here, 8.6 level. You see price pushing back to the upside, but we could be headed back down. So we'll watch and see there. So not a ton here on the 4. Excuse me. Here on the 1, right? There's your back and forth action here. Broke the cloud to the downside, pulled back through the cloud. Do we see this move continue down, right? Mainly looking at things from a daily time frame, stochastic in the sell zone, swing high potential forming there, right? We get that swing high to form, that could give us that confirmation of this next leg to the downside. Okay. Oh, that fib got taken out. All right. So we'll watch to see how this evolves. Okay.
That's a bit of a cup of handle there.
Right here.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Possibly, right? Either way. So yeah, it's trying to break the cloud.
Interesting. Right here.
Yeah,
So looking for a move back to the upside.
maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
We shall see. We shall see. This will be interesting to hear. I didn't see that. I like it. I like it. So let's see. Let's see how it goes, right? Um, Euro strength or Aussie weakness. We shall see. We shall see. Good eye there. So let's watch that and see how this one develops here. All right. Do we get this cup and handle to finish out to the upside? Ultimately getting us to matching the extension here. 166.064. It's the matching D extension there on the one. Like, I like it. I like it. I like it. Boom. Let's see. Questions here on this Euro Aussie. Oh, I had to go down one more, I think. Reese, you had an 80-20 on this 30-minute, didn't you? I think you did.
He did. That would play it out.
Boom. There it goes. 80-20 collapse to that data, a rate statement from last night. Just accelerated that move to the downside. Great work there. Great work there. Boom. Right. Another one right in line. GJ to 27. Gotcha. Great work there. Great work there. So now let's watch and see how things go. All right. Get that cup and handle to fill out. Continue move to the upside. Okay. Great work. That's the Euro Aussie. Any questions here? Awesome. 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 What else I got on my list here? We'll take a look at this pound yen. We said got 80-20 on the 30-minute. I'll come back to the higher time frame in a second. We'll break it all the way down, but we're on the fib off the low. 80-20 here on the pound yen. Let's see. All right, nice bearish action there. Do we get a nice retracement here? Do we get a nice retracement for a low price to continue moving long? Great call there, Reese. All right, in line with previous resistance. We'll look at those levels. All right, but moving to the downside. Do we get a low here? To give us another low price to get back long. We're still short on the ends. Okay. So 80-20 there on the 30-minute. Let's come back and let's look at this all the way through. Daily time frame, 618 retracement. Nice swing low form there. Pushing to the upside. Stochastic getting a bit overbought. Right. So we could have pulled back in motion, right? For that ABCD wave to the upside. See that start to form there on that 30-minute. Right? But looking for this to continue moving long, matching extension 209,341. Okay. So long there. Coming down to your 4. Had a nice 618 retracement here. Pushing to the upside. You see the nice cloud break. Right? Cloud break. Pull back retest. That 80-20 on that 30-minute time frame. See how that could come into an alignment there. Boom. Retest the cloud. Then we'll look for that continuation. Long. All right. So that's on your 4. Here on your 1, you're just shy of that 118 level there, but looking for that move back down. And you see here, beautiful cloud break, stair steps to the upside, staying above that cloud. So looking for that pullback, starting on a 30-minute. Could see that move come like this, retest this zone here, maybe even getting down here, 618 retracement level, set us up for another buying opportunity. All right. So bring this back to a 30-minute time frame, 80-20 scenario. Boom. Setting that retracement. Questions on the pound yen? Oh, all right. Cool beans. I didn't get to um our commodities or our ETFs today, but I wanted to go through a lot of those from the conversation from the weekend and from some of the posts in the community. I know there's some that I still miss regarding Nat Gas and HSI, but we'll definitely take a look at those tomorrow. Um, but great work, team. Great work, right? From the weekend conversation through just the continued communication in the community, posting those setups, posting those ideas, posting those articles, continue the knowledge share, right? Benny says it all the time, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So I appreciate you guys in that engagement and continue to post those ideas, continue to sharpen the iron, right? Any questions before I wrap it up for the day? Benny, anything before I wrap it up, bro?
No, sir. Great session. Appreciate you, man.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, dude. All right, good people. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. Keep your eyes peeled on the market. Continue to stay patient. Continue to stay patient, right? We got Bank of Canada rate statement tomorrow, so we'll check that out in the morning as well. Continue to keep your eyes on the markets. We also got fundamental data on some of the stocks as well. So keep your eyes peeled there. All right. Until the morning, we'll see you in the community. Peace.